What?
That'd be great. We'll just get you right to walk.
How are you?
I'm going to go in there.
There's a lot of good things about it.
Welcome home.
Father, let us give thanks for 25 beautiful years. Let us give us thanks for what we are about to receive. And Father, bless us with 25 more. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
North Carolina, October 64. I was born and raised in Davenport. I practiced here Bill for a long time, and
They're raining out of town.
Bill said go west, so I moved to Spokane, Washington.
Bill Godby, Baymonette, Alabama, class of 1064, New Era class.
Michael Steele, Warrenburg, South Carolina, March 64, and still my first wife, Charlotte. I'm son BJ.
Janice St. John Lambert. I live in Grand Lake, Michigan now. My husband and I have been missionaries for several years, but we're back in the States. I have two sons who are chiropractors, and I graduated in June of '64.
John Mamona, Eustis, Florida. December 64, wasn't it? I was beginning to wonder. I thought it was October for me.
Tom Mistretta, Hermitage, Pennsylvania. My wife Mary, my only wife. June 1964.
Dave Dalton, Grand Rapids, Michigan. My wife Sue, June 64.
I'm Richard Thornton from Clinton, Iowa, but I got transplanted to Monterey, California. I have my wife Randa, and I graduated in June of '64.
I'm Lyle Abbott, and practice in Clear Lake, Iowa, and I graduated in June of '64. And many of you may
Well, I guess what I should do is introduce the two people that are serving as the MCs of this whole thing, and he forgot to tell you who he was. I guess he thought everybody knew who he was. Mac Alden, class of whatever, and...
It was in October.
Thank God, huh? And Jay Sayers, class of whatever. Jay, stand up, please. Now, I've heard some of you question why these two people were picked to be the co-MCs of this event today. And as you all remember, they graduated with honors. They were in the top 10% of the lower one-third of the class. So that's why we picked them. But on behalf of Dr. Don Kern, President, who would love to have been here, but concurrently with this, we have the 50-year reception, which is the next thing you can look to. There'll be a freebie from Palmer College. Dr. Kern is conducting that meeting, and he expresses his wishes that you have a good homecoming and for a good 25-year reunion. And the whole Palmer College, we just welcome you. We're just glad you're here. We started this 25-year reunion 5 years ago. This is the 5th one to have a special function for the 25-year graduates. And each year it gets bigger and bigger, and it's all geared around on you having a lot of fun. This that you've been through right now is kind of a formality. Mac Alden and Jay Sayers, you know, are going to come up with a few other little things that will bring a little bit of fun into the thing. And we just want you to have a lot of enjoyment and fun. Now, I'd like to introduce at this time to say a few words Dr. Gary Street, President of the International PCC Alumni Association. Gary, would you please come forward?
You know, as you walked in the front door, I shook your hands. Most of you said, well, one of my classmates, right? Really, just pretty close, right? I recognize nearly all of you. I graduated the class right after you. So I feel like I'm at home with you. But I have to be honest, you know, you see the shocked look on my face. At first I thought this was a father-daughter banquet. I really did. I think you've done a good job. But I do see, you know, I was shocked at the biggest thing I was shocked at is the southern draws. I'm from the South myself, Southern Illinois, but the southern draw in this room is unbelievable. I would like you to know that, first of all, welcome home to Davenport. And I say that with all sincerity. Isn't it a good feeling to be back in Davenport? It really is, isn't it? Welcome home. I want to say that to you. The small token from the Alumni Association to you is actually a welcome home to Davenport. And with all earnest, I say to you, please don't wait another 25, okay? You're not going to look the same. Your hair is not going to, whatever hair is going to be left, is not going to look the same. Come back next year again. The more that you come back to Davenport and to Palmer, the more you're going to fall in love with it all over again. And we're glad to have you here. Take part and enjoy the campus. We'll be seeing you all tonight during the banquet. Have a grand time. I see every one of you is going to have a great time, especially I've noticed the average number of glasses of wine that you've had is 3 3/4 already. You're on the way. See you later.
One quick announcement of some importance. Tonight, at the alumni banquet, I want every one of you sitting at the same tables. By golly, it's 25 and we need to celebrate. I'd like to turn it over to Jay at this time for a few words from him in a few directions.
I tripped over Gary's footsteps up here. He's been tripping over mine for a few years. Gary's doing a real good job. I'm happy to see him here at the 25th this year. Gary and I have been kind of attending the 50 reunion every year for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, And at the same time, it seems like there's always something else going on at the same time. And we always sat in the back, and about halfway through the program, I said, Gary, it's time that we just kind of disappeared. And went over to the fraternity house and did what we had to do there. And so this time we're not going to disappear. We're going to be around for a while to the end for a change. It comes to a little point in our little program here that I'm asked to do the serious part, and unfortunately I have a list of 7 of us that from our class that aren't with us because they passed away, and I'd like to read that list off, and maybe we'll have a moment of silence. There may be others. I hope there aren't, but these are the ones that we know of right now. Jack Ballard, Joe Kofelt, Stevie Shore, Ray Thomas, Ross Forrest, Peg Ryan Howell, and Dick Helzer. Can we just have a moment of silence, please? Oh, I heard that 1064 was New Era class before. There are other things that we kind of brings us back some memories of our class and our time at Palmer, and some of the things that we can remember. And Mac and I tried to make a little list here last couple of days of some of the things that we remembered anyway that were things that kind of stuck out in our mind. In the 1060 class, what we started in, I think we had a total of 360 some odd students that we started with, and of those, if I remember right, we had 7 females in that class. Things have changed a little bit. If you went to the picnic yesterday, you know things have changed around a little bit. And my wife always wondered why I wanted to go to picnic every year for the last few years. But I was told yesterday by Bob Walder's daughter, her class, they have 35% of the class are females. And things have changed a little bit since we were here. We were in the class that I think the first class that BJ didn't speak to. You know, BJ used to always come to one of the first class classes that were the new class that started, and always gave his little talk and greeted the class. But I think our 1060 class was the first class that BJ didn't speak to, and it was in 1961 when we were in school that BJ passed on, as you remember. And the name of PCC changed to PSC changed to PCC. Dave brought the Palmer School of Chiropractic to Palmer College of Chiropractic during our class time and school time. The cafeteria was renovated, and along with the renovation of the cafeteria, of course, and we can thank our treasurer for that, the tuition went up. It's those beans we were talking about, Bill, before. I think you all remember the Maysville Blast. And how can we forget it? Some of the names of instructors that we had that aren't here any longer, we bring to memory a little bit here. Don Farrell, Virgil Strang is still here, of course, a little different capacity. Galen Price, of course, father of philosophy. Marshall Himes, I think we all remember. In fact, I think when you were coming, the bus driver said he was going to get that parking spot right in front of the building, didn't he? When he come out here. Dr. Murphy, we all remember Dr. Phillips. How about Mr. Wide Tie, Dr. Harry Andrews? Remember that, huh? Our timekeeper, Eunice. How could we forget Eunice? There was always a little competition between Dr. Strang and Dr. McAndrews. I think they were trying to see who could have the most children at that time, if I remember right, during that time. There's a few other names here that came to our mind today. We don't know where they are. Maybe it's good we don't. Pete Moody or Ted Cadell. Well, anyway, that's our memories, and I'm sure if we sat down and thought about a few more, there'd be a lot more that we can remember, and maybe a lot more that we'd like to not remember. I think it was the time of the fabulous Faye McKay We all remember Fay. I can remember the opening of the Yankee Clipper, and who I have become related to, Rockin' Robin. Robbie's class reunion was last year, and he didn't show up for it. He's still rocking, yeah. Yep. Mac, do you have any other things that we can bring back here? And
well, it's always an unruly class. And one thing that came to mind today, that this thing might get out of hand today. And I felt that with the sentiments of some people, we probably should have a sergeant at arms. We have one member in this class who does not like cops on campus. Wrote that in his comments: keep the cops off the campus. And I'd like to, I think that I'd like to designate him as the sergeant at arms and give him a badge as the Scott County, as a member of the Scott County Posse. Dr. Kenton. I'm not through. Brought you a 99-cent special gun and a pair of handcuffs. Let's see, where are we? We worked on this thing a lot. We got the sergeant at arms. I have a list of statistics, and about 4.6 of those wines, it's hard to say that word. I took the comments that you made and the different things you said, and I have some statistics to say. I spent $5,000 to get my nose fixed, and now my mouth won't work. Of the people who filled out one of the forms, and some of you didn't, and we have your name. Everyone except Dr. Rush is married. And they've been married an average of 1.2 times. For an average of 24 years. 7 have been divorced, a total of 8 times. Jack Elvidge has been married 3 times and has never been divorced. We have one person who claims he's single, and that's Rush. And he is semi-looking. That's a halfway to look at things.
He's been divorced, and he got here on time for he never got to class on time, but he got here for the luncheon anyway. Congratulations, Bob.
We asked everyone the name of their present spouse, and everybody knew it, with the exception of Marcio Palacios. We have provided 1.78 male offspring, 0.95 female, for a total of 65. We've had 0.26 grandchildren who were male per graduate, 0.43 female, a total of 16 grandchildren in the class. The number of miles traveled to get to this occasion today, 21,310, for an average of 926. We have 78% are in sole practitioners, 17% are in multi-doctor practices, 9% are in multi-office practices. We have Jay Sayers is retired. He's going to give a seminar.
Probably full, too.
Franz von Leeuwen is the athletic director at Life College. He's the big guy who hums all the time. 43% are straight practitioners. That is, straight conservative practitioners. Ken Meyer is a straight liberal. 4% are up the cervical. That's one person. He broke the egg. 96% are full spine. They practice everything from Gunstead to Thompson to SOT to Nemo to the Mistrata package to the Kempton Special. We have 9% mixers, 39% blenders, and the most favorite type of practice is warm bodies. Let's see. We have 0.3 members practicing chiropractic with us. We have 1.34 family members practicing chiropractic. And we have 0.3 family members enrolled in chiropractic college. We didn't ask, but I'm assuming that they're all Palmer. Number of homecomings attended. The average is 7.6. From all of them down to none of them, and I'm still trying to figure this out because he's here. Sam Haywood has attended none, and I'm assuming he's kept his habit about attending class. We referred a total of 139 students to chiropractic college. The best seminar. You need to be sure everybody's sitting down. Cale said the best seminar he ever attended was Cale. The others were Gunstead, Earhart, Parker, and Sandy Chilson liked Las Vegas. It's funny, but she went to Las Vegas and didn't know the name of the seminar. The worst seminar was Cale said Cale. Must have been the time he broke the egg. Somebody had a problem with Parker in '85. Kenny Meyer never had a bad one, and I think that's probably the truth. The Cale said Cale. We have a few awards that we would like to give, and if there's a dispute, don't worry about it. We got plenty of awards. Married the greatest number of years, 37. Put the camera down, Chuck. It's you.
She'd have been married longer, but she married a cop the first day.
The most kids is Gary Peterson, and it's kind of ironical. Where are you, Gary? 7? 6? And we asked him what town he was from. He didn't know. Married the least number of years, Richard Thornton. He had it down at 36 months. Dick?
What about Bob Rush and Bob?
Oh, we're going to get to them. Yeah, if you go down here and take a right, just on the other side of the men's room, there's a large closet. The most grandchildren, Dr. Spenceley. 6, am I correct? Where are you? 6? Protest. Pardon me, did you fill out a form? Naughty, 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 naughty. God, I love being in control. And when you're right, it's wonderful. The least amount of hair. Now, we had a problem here because there are some people that don't have a lot of hair, but there's a guy like K.J. Meyer who never did. So we need a vote. Have the person at your table with the least amount of hair to stand up. And by the way, Kiernico, Meyer, Venancio, Macio, Rodriguez, Palacios. Oh, that's a husband. He doesn't count. How about Spenceley? I believe even though he has probably lost less hair than anybody, K.J. Meyer wins. Yeah. No. Shut up.
Wig? No. You want to make a speech, Kenny?
The person who's attended the most homecomings, there are several of you, but I believe the one that stands out the most is Dr. Cale. He was a little slow, and he still doesn't have it down. Dr. Cale, Mike. He's attended every one. I've lost my number here. The person who traveled the furthest distance. We thought about South Africa, but he was disqualified because now he's in Marietta, Georgia. So the person who came the furthest distance is Marcio Palacios. 3,000 miles. And the shortest distance is a real good friend of mine, at least he used to be. K.J. Meyer walked down the street and came over here. 3 miles. K.J., this is a big... KJ, this is a big gift, and it commemorates your effort. I think you need to open it.
get back, Jay.
Okay. That's only rapid.
KJ, we sincerely appreciate your efforts.
Thank you. Take the price tag off.
5,000 big ones.
Janice St. John did turn in a questionnaire, but she had 7 grandchildren the most.
Oh, okay.
She didn't fill out a questionnaire.
We have one other gift. She didn't fill out a questionnaire, but she's produced 7 grandchildren. And what's the name of that book? Sex and a Single What? Janice St. John. What else do we have? Okay. I lost my note on that. We have 3 others. The most homecomings, of course, was Mike Cale and Jay Sayers. Both of them were 25. I guess I need to give one to whatever, but Mike, come up and we got something for you. It's I think it's a coccyx. He is holding one, you know. The greatest number of family members practicing goes to Chris Berube. All of these have 5. Chris Berube, Sid Steck, Tom Estretta, and yours truly. I inherited every one of them. Get up here. We got to get rid of this stuff, man. Sid, Tom.
Come on, Mac, get the picture.
Oh, yeah.
No.
God's up, Mac.
And that's all. You know, it was great. It comes by once in your life, and I think that Sergeant at Arms, if he'll behave himself, we could all have another little drinky poo before we leave and stand around and tell each other how wonderful we think we are. But by golly, I'll tell you what, 64 was a great year, and 25 years later is even greater. Thank you.